You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Pace Radio Show. We're live here at paceradio.net and 420pace.ca. Good evening, Tamara.
How you doing? We actually are live tonight. This is the first live.
Yes, exactly. We are live tonight. It's been a few weeks since we were actually live, and in its place, most of the stuff that was played was some really old stuff.
It's really like even like with my show, I didn't do anything Monday. It's really hard to get content. Like it's really hard to find content, especially when you don't have a guest or a co-host where you can bounce back and forth with. When I sit there for an hour talking to myself to an empty screen and there's no comments or nobody coming in, I just feel like I'm talking to myself, and it's like. And I did ask somebody to come on Monday, but right now they're in the midst of trying to get some stuff done and they can't talk about it right now. So.
The last few weeks, actually we aired some audio podcasts, and they were the first 3 audio shows of the Pace Radio Show.
So those would have been like Debbie and Allison and.
Well, no, yeah, there was Deb and Keith.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
Keith Fagan.
Yeah, because Keith's no longer with us. Hey?
Correct, yeah.
I was thinking about that.
The next one was show number 2 of that first season. That was with Owen Smith. And what I did is the first show. We introduced ourselves, like myself and Deb and Keith, and then we had Owen. When Owen was on the second show, we acted like a host and a co-host type thing, and did the interview of Owen. And then on our third show, that would be bringing in the 4th co-host of the show, which allowed us to spread across the country, right from BC with Owen, Keith, and in Alberta, Deb down in Nova Scotia, and Chantal Oreo in Quebec. And then Chantal was the third show. We had the interview with her.
It's quite funny because Owen was just featured on the Montel Williams show.
Yeah.
Last week or the week before, and he's written a book. And Owen Smith is the reason why we can all share our meds and bake cookies and do all the things that we couldn't do, because they took that all the way to the Supreme Court of Canada and fought for our rights as patients to be able to make canna butter and make oil and make tinctures and make all these things, because he put his freedom on the line for all of us.
Yeah, and not make criminals out of mothers who are making coconut oil for their young child who's dealing with seizures.
Yeah, that was the Sean Howell ruling after Owen, to be fair.
That was
because before Owen, we couldn't even before Owen Smith ruling, we couldn't even make canna butter. We were
but in Owen's case, Mandy got involved in that.
Right, that's right.
Because she would be a criminal making her son medication.
Well, they expect the children to smoke it, because the only way we could
exactly
raw flour. So it was either smoked it in a joint, or you put raw flour into a cake mix and you ate raw combustible beef.
That was it. That's all we were allowed to do. Yeah.
You couldn't legally make canna butter. Like putting a pound of butter into a pot and simmering it down was illegal.
Yeah.
Like, we're not even talking oil with isopropyl where you're boiling it down and could possibly blow yourself up. We're talking like pretty like olive oil in a jar in the oven for a few hours, to do that, to infuse the
on the
olive
stove,
oil.
sitting on the stove.
Yeah, like all of that stuff was illegal. Like you weren't allowed to do any of that.
Right. Yeah.
It's just, I mean, we've come a long way.
Sure have.
We have a long way to go, because I was reading
Yeah.
something last week too, where 4,100 licensed producers' licenses was revoked. Right? That was
I actually have that. I have that to discuss today.
Great minds think alike, Al.
Yeah, I got this right. I got this right here in front of me. And
also, like those busts that are going on in the First Nations too, with the I can't say it properly.
Yeah, I got some information.
I don't want to say it, I don't want to do any disrespect.
I got some information on that as well. As well as
talking about before, like my store here has been shut down since right before pretty much Christmas time, right? And I'm not sure why. Like, so that means that CSP has been pretty much shut off at the knees, because I can't get anything to work with. No donations coming in. My stuff can't be sold to make funds to do anything for the substitution program. So that cut the substitution program off at the fucking knees too, pretty much. Because I mean, there was like, the legal stores can't help me. I don't have I don't have my own garden. And they were helping, and they were also helping financially, because my stuff could be out there and they could sell it, and then I would get the cash and I turn it into product out there, right? Well, they're still not open, and no time of resuming. And then when I see what's going on across the country with the other bands and the other reservations, I'm not sure if
it's all quiet here. I'm not here.
We had to change a chief too. Like they had an election out there, and the chiefs have changed again. And before,
thanks for the thumbs up there, Chief, or not Chief Church.
Because we talked about doing a 420 event. When I was out there a little, like the last out there, and we thought, because April's coming up with it. And at that point in time, he has said that they had event approval from the band, and that we should do something. We should get together. We should hire a band. Like, let's figure this out. And then all of a sudden, it was closed for renovations. And I texted them. I said, "Any chance you guys are opening soon?" And they had an opening date, and then it's gone and passed, and they're still not open again.
Oh.
She reached out to me and said, "Oh, we're going to be open again tomorrow." So I'm like, "Where? I can start, like right on." And then nothing. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, down there in Nova Scotia, the situation there, this is sort of a question I have, and I'm sure that the RCMP have, raided some stores in the past, but being that this is the RCMP in Nova Scotia, it's a new situation, not an older situation.
It's a new government.
Correct. Well, what I'm wondering is, being it was charged by federal police, could this actually go all the way to the Supreme Court, for the Supreme Court to decide on the treaty rights?
Yeah. And because, like, here's the thing, like, remember when Ted got busted out at the VSB? They would go in and they would just keep taking the product, but they never laid any charges.
Exactly.
Now, if they laid charges this time on a federal level, then they can at least fight something in court. But I don't know if they're laying any charges. And I know that the one aspect where they did lay charges in one case in Nova Scotia, I can't remember if it was a few months ago, the judge threw everything out, dismissed everything.
Yeah, I had Diane Dodge. She sent me a video of.
I've been watching her stuff too, because she's good for some information all the time too, right?
She has a video that she sent me that's, I don't know, about 1:20 long, and it's somebody that's speaking about what's going on down there. I haven't listened to the whole thing. I've only listened to a little bit, but I'll play it here.
I find it appalling, especially on sovereign nation land. Like, I just find it appalling that they're even allowing that the RCMP are even follow. I just can't believe that they're even going in there. Quite honestly, the RCMP should be saying, "Not our fucking problem." You know what I mean? Like, this is like talk to the band. Like, if they've got band police, talk to them. Like, this is a sovereign nation. Like, we have to, like, people have to realize that things are going to change in this country fairly quickly. Like even with the land back and all the transfers of property rights and stuff to the nations, like the RCMP shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah. Well, let's listen to what this person has to say. Her name is
Absolutely.
Michelle, and I'll play that, and we'll see what all she has to say. Okay.
That's what I was listening to.
Was it?
Yeah.
Are you hearing it? I'm not hearing any
I'm not
audio.
hearing
Oh, it's not muted. I had it. It's.
I'm hearing that
Yeah.
there's going to be more on other communities. So,
There we go.
hey everybody, Chief Michelle here with Sabaganagity. So I'm getting word there's 3 raids going on currently in 3 different First Nation communities, Bulladek, Bakangag, and Wekoma. I'm hearing that there's going to be more on other communities. So what we're doing in Sabaganagity, already started, we're going to have checkpoints at our entrance and at our exits. If you're up here visiting family or you live here, come on up. If you're not trying to do us any harm, you're welcome in our community. But for those who want to do us harm by force in our community, you're not welcome here. And if you're foolish enough to come up here, you better be smart enough to figure out how you're getting out. Straight up. Our roads are blocked. So have a good day, everybody. Stay safe. And remember, we as Mi'kmaq has jurisdiction over these lands. Sorry, I'm getting fired up, but I'm tired of this government trying to push us around and tell us what we can do and we can't do. You're not telling us. We're telling you. Hey, everybody. Chief Michelle here.
Excellent. That's
Yeah.
exactly it. Like they don't understand. Like, quit telling them what to do.
Yeah. And that's the chief.
I know.
That's
a video that I watched. That's exactly the video that I had seen, and that's what I mean. Like the second night, like the Mi'kmaq are not fucking around. Like they're not. Like
No.
This is an industry that they've embraced. They have embraced cannabis as a medicine, as a traditional medicine on their land. They're creating jobs. They're creating community, and it's theirs to do. It doesn't matter. It's not the RCMP or Tim Hudson's fucking business what they do on their own lands.
It'd be interesting to see what happens going forward. And the thing I know there's been the raids, but has there been charges? Like we were talking,
safety units, right? The CS.
Yeah, they don't do that. Or West don't have the charges because these guys end up with the same thing where they just end up taking all the stuff, which was legal theft, or basically is what it is.
Theft, exactly. But like I said, like even here, like we have like what they did is they made the liquor inspector the cannabis inspector, right?
Yeah.
And I think we had one, now we have 2. So they hired one more person to fill a position that only one person filled before for the bars, for the liquor control, right? That goes in and does the inspection on the bars and the stores and whatever. Now they have 2 people, but they're barely ever around. Like they don't like. But what are they trying to find? We don't have any illegal stores running here, right? We don't have any illegal activities. No illicit market. The only illicit market that we had was out on the Tanaha, but again, that's not their territory. And like I said before, I'm pretty sure they had permission, and there's been a change of band. There's been a change of chief. Maybe things have changed. I don't know.
Yeah, I was just reading it. It's a 1752 treaty. That's what it says. So.
Well, that's the thing. The treaties were agreements for like basically a rental agreement. They weren't they weren't signed over for them to like. They didn't sell anything. They didn't give anything away. They were a rental agreement, basically saying, yeah, you guys can come and hang out here and we'll share the areas and we're going to take, we're supposed to get the resources off the land. If there's any, monies to be made or anything to be made below the certain area, that's our trust money. That's the way it was supposed to always work. We were supposed to share hand in hand, and it's not how we did it. We felt, it's just, and now we're paying the piper.
Then it'll be, hopefully, they obviously ain't going to take it sitting down. and hopefully take it through the courts and get this dealt with, because there's so
Well,
many.
I think a lot of these white old guys that were here, like, you know, Johnny McDonald, didn't ever figure that they would become educated enough to learn law.
Yeah.
Figure out that they were
Oh,
getting
yeah.
screwed. You know, they figured they would have beat them out of the, you know, out of the residential school so much that nobody would have ever gotten educated enough to actually learn the truth. They underestimated them big time.
Big time. Yes. Yeah. And it's, you know,
I'm a non-practicing white, and I say that loudly because I'm not like, I'm ashamed of my heritage. But some of the stuff that these people did when they came here, I'm not like, I don't want to be participating in.
right. Yeah. You mentioned Health Canada there earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What are they doing? Like, I mean, I don't have any real problem with them like inspecting the licensed producers and like keeping them under scrutiny and the micro growers and all. But what are they doing with patients and designated growers?
Well, they've always said that they had inspectors, and at one time they had it seemed like they had like 2 for the whole country, and you never ever saw or heard anything about them. But over the last 4 or 5 years, they've picked up steam and doing more of these inspections, and that is due to a lot of the complaints about the numbers
and smell. Oh my God, I can smell it.
It was the municipalities. They kept saying it was a loophole in the system, allowing people to get these hundreds of plants, grow licenses, and on they went. Politicians were complaining, you know, especially the conservative end. They were complaining about the numbers.
So there was 35 people that sent letters in total.
There's what? 35 people.
It was probably 35 people that sent letters in total.
So yeah, the Health Canada said that they refused or revoked over 4,100 medical cannabis regulations, including 3,400 for reasons of public health and public safety. Like public health and public safety. If you got a license for 5 grams, and you're going to grow your 25 plants, public safety, they worried that they went into a house and saw something that was dangerous electricity wise, let's say, for example, and took that under as public safety. I don't know. Yeah, but you hardly ever heard of any.
I would fear to hear what the ridiculous reasons were.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, the licensed producers under scrutiny for pesticides and, you know, all that thing, and backdoor out the back door because they're losing money and all that shit. Yeah.
4,100 last year. In up to that point, it was from 2022 to 2024. There was 1,400.
Well, I know the veterans are like.
Yeah, 113% increase in refusals and revocations, and a 423% increase in the number of refusals and revocations made because of public health and public safety. That's since 2022.
That's not that many, really.
Yeah.
But again,
although the personal production of cannabis for medical purposes has been guaranteed by several court cases in Canada for more than 20 years, the regulator has been seeking to address concerns from different levels of government over the potential for misuse and diversion of cannabis from these types of licenses.
Now you're getting to the bottom of it. And why
especially those associated with high daily limits.
Here's where they're coming in on this, because they're busting these fucking illicit, right, on the fucking First Nations land. All that stuff is illicit, right? It's not coming out of the government. It's got no excise taxes paid on it. It's not going through the legal channels. Mm-hmm. So if you've got like Legacy 420 and big operations like that going on in the Tananga and every places, never mind, Vancouver still has theirs. You're still online. right?
Yeah.
So they're proving that patients are diverting, and we were given that right to produce medical matter cannabis for our own purposes, right? To
Yeah.
supply ourselves, not to supply ourselves and 20 others, right? That's what a designated
There
grower
was there
is for.
wasn't there was the court ruling. There was Section 4 and Section 5 didn't apply to the patients. Section 4 and 5 of the CSA, something to do, and Section 4 or 5 has to do with distribution,
Yeah.
which
We're
basically
still not allowed
told
to
said
get
that we could
We're not
that
allowed.
we could
So you're
help.
allowed to share. You're allowed to share 30 grams as a gift, but you are not allowed to sell.
Well, that's on the federal legal end. I mean,
Even
court
as a
case.
patient, even as a patient with the Smith ruling, we were allowed to share. We weren't allowed to share prior to that either. We weren't allowed to gift. We weren't allowed to share at all. The Smith ruling gave us the ability to share, but it was gifting only. We weren't allowed to sell it. We weren't allowed to.
Yeah. The gifting part of it. Yeah, correct.
But again, like patients and the designated growers, like that was the thing, right? Designated growers could give patients their fucking nuts for free because they could divert their.
I've been
right?
waiting for them to pull the designated grower, but I don't know if they can or not. They say that when they use they say the average amount of cannabis authorized under the medical access program, that's for those who are going to the LPs, is anywhere from 2 to 2.5 grams a day. But for those who are growing their cannabis, it's 33 grams per day.
On average?
Yeah.
I thought they were cutting licenses back. Why would it be like? Why would?
Oh, okay. Sorry, that was at the end of 2023. Okay, what they got here now? See if there's anything here. Not seeing anything right now. Now, as far as the commercial licenses, since 2018, Health Canada has revoked 29 commercial licenses as of the end of January this year. Of those, 15 licenses were revoked as a result of license holders' failure to pay annual regulatory fees, and 14 revoked as for result of non-compliance. And in 2025 alone, there were almost a total of 90 commercial licenses removed.
But 90. How many licensed production sites are we up to now? Like we were at 4,000.
Oh, I don't know. Last I heard, we were just over 1,000 or somewhere around there.
Only 1,000.
Yeah.
Oh, so they've lost. There's been quite a few closures then, obviously, because there was way more than that. Or no, I guess it was 400. It was only 400.
It must have been 400 because I've never seen it. I haven't seen it much more than 1,000. So.
No, that's what I mean. I was confused. It was 400 and something. Last time I looked, now it's at 1,000. So it's still 1,000 fucking producers, right? Like.
Oh yeah. Well, I saw one there today, Aurora. They've just gone strictly medical.
Aurora was supposed to be strictly medical right from the get-go.
Right from the launch. Went to commercial and then now it's back to medical, and they're selling tons of it to different countries.
Yeah, well, that's what happened here too. Like Dicor here doesn't sell to the Canadian market. They sell to Germany, and foreign markets only. Yeah,
it's actually like something like 20 tons or something, 40 tons. It's huge for the amount of cannabis that they're sending to Germany.
It's cheaper for taxes for them to sell it outside the country than it is to sell it within the country. Our excise taxes are more expensive for them to sell within domestically than it is for them to sell internationally, which is bullshit. Like, how are we supposed to keep anything local and keep our producers here if they're, it's too expensive for them to keep their product in their own country?
Sell it elsewhere.
Again, like I said, this is, something that wasn't done properly to begin with. Even the way that it was set up for even the ability for it become a stock exchange industry. You know what I mean? Right. Like, it's always supposed to be for patients. And it's like recreational, sure. But again, like they just took it to the extreme. Like,
Yes. Yeah. And geez, I'll get that.
It's really bothersome that they're just taking licensing out. Like I said, licensed producers, pesticides, overgrowing, backdooring, whatever, not following, complying with the rules. Great. Patients and domestic and designated growers. But again, we've had people that lie and say they're patients when they're not, and overgrow and make us all look like we're criminals.
Yeah, they say that recent police reports over the past year have also noted large raids of license holders who were growing outside the perimeters of their medical licenses.
And that makes us all look bad.
Correct. Oh, I know.
That's why, like I said, I don't even bother anymore having a license. Like, I'm not growing anything I can because of the power situation anyway. But like
197 inspections of registered personal and designated production of cannabis. It's up from 160 in the previous year and 170 in the year before that.
So what do they do? They just randomly show up on your doorstep?
What's that?
Will they just randomly show up on your doorstep, knock on their door, like without a warrant?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
If you don't need a warrant, we can just come in and look.
No, they don't, because when you sign your license, right?
Yeah, you're right.
You're
right. You say, hello, come on in. Would you like some tea?
Yeah.
Again, if you're not overgrowing your license, what do you care? Like, that's when the RCMP showed up at our place when we first moved to Coronation because somebody had, said we had an illicit grow house. And the only thing they wanted to look at was the plants, and they were all like this big and fucking solo cups. But I only had the amount that I was supposed to have. And I had transferred my license because they were trying to get me on the fact that I had moved from Tabor. My licensing was for Tabor. But I'd kept everything, and I had already sent the transfer into Health Canada, have my license transferred to whatever. And that's what saved me.
They say here that there was one person in 2021, a patient had been authorized for 100 grams a day and had a court reject an allowance for the patient to possess up to 1,000 grams in public. That's 2 pounds.
1,000 grams a day. That's 2 pounds. That's a lot of weed. I don't know, man. Like, some of it sounds so ridiculous. Like, I don't know, what are you doing with that? Like, what are you, like, I don't know what to say. But again, like I said, market prices dropped. The vets are pissed because they're clawing back their allotment on what they're paying out for the right? Because the market price has gone from $8.50 to $6.50, so they're only going to pay them $6.50 a gram for their medicine. So they're feeling like they're being rolled back when that's what's happening with the market price. But my friend that I have that lives in Montreal, he's been asked to do a documentary.
Yeah.
And he's asked me to help him with, like, we're going to have a discussion, and I'm not sure, but they're looking for their patients.
Yeah.
Other people use cannabis as medicine, so I don't know. Maybe I'll be in another documentary.
All righty. I see we're at the bottom of the hour. I see we got a comment. Brian Jones says, hello all. G'day, Brian. How you doing?
How you doing?
Thanks for tuning in and for hitting the thumbs up as well. Really appreciate that. All right, Tamara, what do you say? Time for us to take a break?
Which means I can go check my lasagna.
Okay, we're going to take that break. When we get back, Tamara and I will continue this conversation. I've got some studies and some reports and stuff like that we'll be discussing, as well as whatever comes along at the same time. So you just never know. You're watching the Pace Radio Show. We are live here at paceradio.net as well as at 420pace.ca. I have to find the commercials.
We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.
Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs.
Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420. Rerolled Saturdays. Check it out. Nothing but non-stop cannabis and psychedelic programming. Find it at 420pace.ca.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Are you looking to get your medical cannabis grow license? Limestone City Hydroponics can help patients through the process of obtaining their license to grow medical cannabis. What's that? You don't have a doctor? If you meet the medical criteria, Limestone City Hydroponics has a nurse practitioner who can assess and provide medical cannabis prescriptions. What are you waiting for? Contact Limestone City Hydroponics at limestonecityhydroponics.ca or call them at 613-548-0420.
PACE Radio is the People Advocating Cannabis Education Radio Network.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Hey, and welcome back to the Pace Radio Show. As usual, lately, Tamara and I are just shooting the shit, as some people like to say.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Well, it's kind of hard to find content because it's not that people are doing like the same things that we were doing before. Like, there's not rallies, there's not a lot of events. The events in our
oh, I know. Yeah.
are, are all licensed producers. In fact, Cheryl went to the Grow Up in Vancouver. She found it very difficult. Anytime that she presented her proposal to anybody, nobody was interested in it.
No,
and she's finding like that she's running up against a brick wall trying to find funding for it too. So she's looking at doing another GoFundMe to be able to come up with the next the $30,000 she needs to do the research. Like, she's not even asking people to provide Haley with her medicine. She's just looking for a place to help her do the research to get it so that it can go to market so other people can also benefit from it too, right?
Just so you know, got a couple comments here from Brian. He says that it's good to see the other Canna warriors. That's right, exactly. As Tamara was saying, things have changed so much in the years. And he says that he will be the MC or the host for the Vancouver 420 at the Art Gallery.
Awesome.
This year. And 420, it's only a little more than a month away. 6 weeks.
And like I said,
not even 6 weeks.
Talked to somebody out here on our on our First Nations to do something out there, but they're not even open. The store's not even open at the moment. And I did my first 420. God, when was that? 2012 in Lethbridge. 2012, right after I got my license, because we didn't want to do anything without anybody without a license. And me and Ryan Weeb were the only two that actually had our pink paperwork. And that was 2012. And we marched from Bob headquarters down to Galt Gardens with our little signs and stuff. And I think there was maybe 30 of us.
Brian says he's a past guest on the show.
I know. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's excellent. I'm glad to see that it's still continuing. But Vancouver's always been like such a shit show the last few years because there's always so many people like organizing Vancouver. The art gallery, then there was the beach, then there's like ay. I don't even know where Dana is anymore. Like I don't even know what's going on.
No, eh?
Well, I mean, he's like I don't because like I do, but I don't.
Right.
I seen some stuff and I seen some other stuff and I just kind of like, oh my god, I don't even want to
know. Okay. I'm just loading up. I'm loading up something, and when it's done, I'll run it.
I had Allison on my show as my last guest before I didn't have any guest, right? And then she was still working on the psilocybin thing. RCMP Nova Scotia just shut down in Infinite. Yeah, we know. That's what we were talking about at the beginning of the show. Actually, is how the spaganagity.
What Brian? Get your input on this. I asked Tamara when we were talking about this earlier. Is this something that, being that it was the RCMP, which is the federal police force, is this something that could be taken through the court system expeditiously to get to the Supreme Court for this to be settled?
It wouldn't be expediently. That's the thing. It would not be expediently.
It may not be expedient, but could it still get to that point? It's always missing. It's missing out the provincial. It would be missing out the provincial challenges.
No, you have to go through that first.
But it's been charged federally by the federal police.
Taken to court to fight with treaty rights.
Federal crime, I guess.
That's exactly it. So he's like, Bryn's right. Like treaty rights, right? So it's because of the sovereignty.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're saying. We'll fight these, get the treaty rights settled.
Treaty rights trump everything. Like that's what Canadians don't understand, is that the treaty rights trump everything. And that's why I don't understand why the RCMP is even bothering. It's a waste of taxpayers' dollars for them to go out there, spend the time, take the abuse, just deal with it. It's just a waste of taxpayers' dollars. It always has been.
Yeah, he says the community leaders have started the process. Earlier, Brian, we played a video from the chief.
Michelle, yep.
Yeah, I'm talking about Michelle, talking about the situation and how they've set up the roadblocks. And if you're there,
like I said, there's been one precedent-setting case that was already set in Nova Scotia already, because they went into on the First Nations and they loaded a sea can onto a fucking back of a tow truck and took the whole fucking thing. Now that was all dismissed in a Nova Scotia court. I believe it was 3 weeks ago. I have to go back and talk to Deb and look at Debbie's page. Deb Stoltz-Giffen's page somewhere in there. But that was a precedent-setting case. Why I don't understand why the RCMP is even wasting their time.
Now he's got a good point here. He says that I think it will be like tobacco was, where you have to have status to buy. Just like with tobacco. Well, now people without status buying tobacco, but they still can be charged. They can still be charged $150.
Depends on where you're buying it. And again, the status here, you get the no taxes, but you have to buy like name brand cigarettes. You have to sign a registry. You're only allowed one carton at a time. You can't buy any more than one carton of Demorie or Players or whatever. You're just not paying the excise tax. You're still paying almost $200 a carton, right? Now the illegal illicit cigarettes, they just busted.
What it is for a carton of cigarettes? $200. Really?
I know, right? What do you think? I don't smoke anymore. I can afford to smoke.
Oh god!
But the illicit cigarettes that they just busted a fucking truckload full worth $7.5 million in Lloydminster, right? Like last week or something. Yeah. But again, those are not nations cigarettes, are not the same thing either. So again, like if your status, you can possess First Nations cigarettes, but the illicit market for cannabis is not being grown on the First Nations. It's not being produced on the First Nation.
Well, there is some
being produced on the First
Nation. I've been to some of it.
Well, some of it is, but I'm just saying, like ours here is not. Like for sure, they're not growing the 500 different strains they've got in this in out here. There's just no way. There's not enough people out there. There's not 500 people growing. Never mind 500 different strains, right? They're buying it online. I know I just know this. They've got the same, anyways, that's the problem too, right?
So the supply. Well, that's where they can set up their whole system, their whole independent system where they're growing their own.
Tobacco is also a different thing because it's treated differently on First Nations because it's used for ceremony, right? Where cannabis is not used in ceremony, where tobacco is used for ceremony in pouches, right? So it's an ancestral ceremony tobacco.
Okay, this is what he says. The access to the products under treaty is for Indigenous access. The RCMP are there because non-status are being served. They will claim that it is their right to enforce federal laws. The courts will have to determine this.
Well, if they're non-status, then they shouldn't be operating on First Nations land.
Yeah.
So if they're First Nations, they should have no right going in and taking anything.
Well, the store. If the stores are selling, if they're looking at the stores are selling to non-status people, they look at that as the store is breaking the law.
Because people that are non-status are going out there to purchase.
Correct. Yes.
Well, that didn't make any difference. You know what? Here's the thing with that. Status was something colonization did. First Nations don't give a fuck about a card. Only the government does.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. They're the ones who implemented it.
So you know what? That can be fought in court too, because as far as any First Nations, we are all one people. So that's a bunch of bullshit. Colonization made the fucking treaty status and all the quantum blood bullshit. It's bullshit. It's just bullshit.
All right. From that, yeah, exactly. We agree.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see how this goes forward.
It'll be interesting because it'll be precedent setting. But again,
yeah. And every time there's something major like that comes up in the news, we always
I said to you, the same question. I want to ask again: how is a premier able to direct a federal fucking police force to begin?
Yeah, because that's what the quote was in the one news article that I read.
Yeah, Tim Houston directs the RCMP to go and take down all First Nations, illicit drug sales. First of all, it's not drugs; it's medicine. Secondly, you're a premier. You're not the fucking king of fucking Nova Scotia.
But all it takes is one complaint, and what
did he do? Make his own little.
How I said that earlier. Yeah. Oh yeah. But it'll be interesting to see what happens down the road. We'll keep an eye on that, and usually it's as it will be tomorrow. It'll be the first story in our news show. Contract law.
Yeah, because the treaties are a contract with the crown.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The contracts can be broken.
They're broken by companies and governments.
It seems to me that the white guy's been breaking them fucking contracts for fucking decades. So, oops. I have zero sympathy for anybody that's a white presenting that want to fucking argue about what they're entitled to. I have no patience for it. Let them do what they want. It's their land. Fuck, mind your business.
These okay. From there, I'm gonna move on to something a little bit different. And they say that they have found that cannabis that has been cleared for sale can still be tainted by mold. And they think that mold could be connected to scromiting.
What's scromiting? What the fuck is that? Is this some other fucking delusional, Trump, this is derangement syndrome that some fucking lunatic made up? What is this? Cannabis cytosis? Yeah. Even Taven, he's like, what the fuck, mom? Anyway.
Exactly, Brian. Now, I'm pronouncing it Brian. I think you call him Bryn.
Bryn. It's Bryn.
Bryn?
Bryn.
Okay. He says provincial contract RCMP, the province contracts the RCMP for policing force. This does open an interesting legal
Well, they
fight.
do, but so does each municipality.
And I believe he's saying bullshit to the scrumming.
I'm thinking it's BS too. But again, yes, they do contract by per province. Province has a general contract with the RCMP, but each municipality does too, right? Like we've got a contract here with the RCMP to police our community in the area. So I don't know. I just think that's bullshit that the RCMP should be being directed by any politician, period. I don't care if they get a contract. I don't care if they're wiping his ass. He's a politician. He shouldn't be able to direct the RCMP to do fucking anything.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah, exactly.
Hypercymesis. Yeah.
Yeah, we all have problems pronouncing CHS.
Whatever.
Scrumming, it sounds more scary. Sounds scarier, and it's easier to pronounce.
You know what? If they just let us grow our own medicine,
no, exactly.
We wouldn't have to worry about it. Anybody adding
legalizing.
anything to it, we wouldn't have to worry about any hypothesis fucking.
Yeah. I well see. I looked at it. I'm looking at what Bryn is saying here, that we didn't see this before legalization, and what are they now that they allow all these sprays? Like Health Canada allows over 100 pesticides to be used. And what they're saying here in this research article that's in the news says that it could be what's left over from the mold after it's been irradiated, because the radiation doesn't kill it all. But other articles I have read have blamed it on pesticides, Nemo.
I don't even know what to say.
What the?
They make it
What? I've heard of arsenic. Is this the same company that had the arsenic?
I don't know. Is that the same one that Loretta worked for?
Yeah, that company found to be selling products with asbestos. Yeah, exactly. What's wrong with the system? I know we did a report on an arsenic level of a Quebec producer. And originally it was just released, and they said that it was in the 3.5 gram packages. And I said, like, how can it just be in these packages? Like they'd be growing a bunch of plants. It would
no, but it's in the packaging. Like it maybe.
And then it was like a week later they issued a ban over a whole line of different products.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
I don't buy anything that says Montreal on it. And that's only, it's got nothing to do personally with Quebec or Montreal. It's got everything to do with this because Loretta worked at one of the places in Montreal. I can never remember which one it was. And it was a shit company, and they treated their staff like shit. And I don't want to give them any of my money. So it's got absolutely nothing to do. There's no shade on Montreal. Montreal's a beautiful city.
They just got bought. So.
They just got bought.
Yeah.
Oh, by who?
I think they're with Canopy now.
Of course they are. Of course they are. Jesus Christ.
Now, this is a mold behind cannabis scromiting, they ask.
Or is Canopy behind the mold and the scromiting? I better watch myself,
But like these, like if they're worried about mold and these other compounds that are still left there after irradiation. Well, those things would have been there for.
But are they eradicating? Is that the thing? Like that's the key.
Well, even if they stay there, like okay, the bacteria, the mold stays there. You don't think there's been no mold over the last 100 years, thousands of years? Like this scromining didn't come into effect until recently. Like
again, why are they letting the cannabis continue past like bud stage if it's got mold in it? Why are they continuing to allow it to flower if they're noticing there's mold in the bud to begin with? Why is it not like? Why is it having to go through eradication to begin with?
They take failed cannabis that failed initial screening for mold, then they zap it.
You can't kill mold.
Then they sell it.
It's just a bunch of shit.
Oh.
You can't kill that shit. Like, fuck. That's like okay, white powdery mildew. You can't kill that shit. No matter what you do.
They call this. They say one of these. They call it fusarium, Fusarium. They are microtonics, and one of them is called vomit toxin. And they say when it's eaten, it makes people throw up.
I guess.
They said it's found in Canadian cannabis at 2 times the level that is allowed in human food. And we're also seeing an increased incidence in vomiting associated with cannabis use.
David, I have a kid that's in the fridge, and I got dinner in the oven. Hang on. Taven?
Yeah, just hit the mute button there. Powdery mildew, yeah, the white powdery mildew. Yeah, that stuff is nasty.
Yeah, you wash it with a chemical, but like I'm telling you, that chemical still does not get rid of that white powder.
Yeah. The one way that they talk about doing it, and I've tried it a few times, is with
sour milk.
No, I don't. Is milk? Oh, I just use peroxide and a little bit of
sour
water.
Milk. So here's one way that because I had.
But I use it what I've used it more for is just to sort of wash off any dirts or anything. The times that I tried it,
because you're growing outside, you wash your plants before you trim.
Yeah, I've done that in the past.
Okay.
I didn't do the past.
I had like outdoor plants. Like I don't know what it's been in this area. Even on my daisies, like even our outdoor flowers have got powdery mildew on them. Everything.
Oh yeah, you can see it in gardens and stuff. Like just keep walking along the side of the road where I live in town.
Right?
You walk on the side of the road and just see all this powdery mildew.
Right? So once it's in your environment, period, whether it's on a fucking daisy outside, it's gonna be in your fucking house because it's spore. So it doesn't matter what you try and keep it out of your grow room. So even if you got a licensed production site, because you still have to have filterization, right? The airflow is still coming in from the outside. If there's any powdery mildew in the environment outside, garden, lilac.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck yeah!
And then try and eradicate that.
I experienced that. I wondered where the hell is this coming from, and I went outside and I checked, and I found plants in the area near my intake that were moldy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really
know where that came from.
The last couple of years, like everything, like I said, like it's March the 4th, and
oh really?
There's no snow.
Yeah.
Like, none. Right. Like everybody's like, oh, we should be gardening. I says, don't be going and gardening. Every time you rake, you're raking, you're digging, like you're killing all the larvae, you're killing all the ladybugs, you're killing all the predators. Like, stop it. Like,
Bryn says they're dealing with it on grapes, apples, stone fruit. Could you call cannabis bud stone fruit?
No, but Kelowna's got like the plant. Because of the desert, like Kelowna, like because Osoyoos is a desert, Penticton and Osoyoos is a desert, and then Kelowna's got the lake, and it's like the humidity levels change. But Kelowna's a really great growing area for outdoor, but because of the area, because of the humidity in the desert, it's prone to have powdery mildew on a lot of stuff because of humidity, right? Hops, yeah. Grapes and hops and all these kind of stuff where cannabis is close to. Yeah, exactly. They haven't been having such great years in the last little bit for grapes and stuff either. Even like a few years ago, crust and like the buds came out. It was too early. Everything was froze. So we had no fruit. Last year was great. And this year, like everybody's, like I said, they were out taking it. I'm like, don't take your fucking straw off your strawberries yet. Don't do it. And they did. And then it snowed again. Now it's
yeah. Well,
it's 12 degrees today. Like we had snow and it's all melted again.
Today was a really nice day here for the first time.
Yeah, no.
But we're gonna have like some good temperatures this weekend, like high 16. We're gonna have a bunch of rain coming. But when you look at the 2-week forecast, they're talking like another 30 centimeters of snow in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
like seriously, we've had like
Really? That's all you get is a day or two of snow?
ah, he's only 6. Let's put it this way. Alvin is home today. Alvin drove from Grand Prairie to Kelowna yesterday to drop a hand off and then drove home. This like yesterday, got home yesterday. So he did like a 6 a.m. leave Grand Prairie, drove all the way to Kelowna, and then Kelowna 6 hours from here to there. And then he's home. So Alvin
Yeah.
was in Kelowna yesterday. So it's only 6 hours for me. But
That's
yeah, it's
good.
been like that here too. Like it's been like Vancouver weather here. Even
Really?
fog. We don't get fog, but we've been getting
We've got
fog.
we've got to have the most snow we've had in 20 years.
Yeah, well, that's good because we haven't,
Yeah, we got lots of snow.
and we need it because we're far.
And it's been good because we've been seeing the snowmobilers have been out and all
Well, they've
that
been
like
out here
crazy.
too. Avalanches, and they go out. They were told don't go out because
Yeah,
of
yeah,
avalanches, and then they
yeah.
go out anyway, and then you got them out being rescued, and they die.
Mm. Does Vancouver get much snow?
Not usually, no.
Yeah. Let's see. Now turn it back to cannabis. Let's say we got about 3 or 4 minutes or we go to break. This is good news. There was a study, lifetime cannabis use. Sounds like something that you and me and many other people are doing. It's not associated with cognitive decline or dementia risk.
Right?
You know how they always say that people who smoke cannabis forget everything. That's what the saying is, right?
I wish I could.
Uh,
It didn't make
but
me forget anything. It just makes me remember better. So I wish I could forget. I wish it did make me forget everything.
yeah, it's not associated with either accelerated cognitive decline or greater risk of dementia. It's a Yale University.
Isn't there a study, we were talking about this one time before, they're finding that it actually helps reduce the transmission of the plaque on the brainstem for Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
So it'd be the same for dementia too, right? Only it's a different, Alzheimer's and dementia are completely different. Would it not react the same way to the brain?
They tested several 100,000 participants.
Seems that there's
And,
more
yeah,
out of the woodwork.
the cannabis use was not associated with the increased risk of dementia. Yeah. And no supporting evidence of a causal link either. So that's good. Good to know.
I have a funny feeling that if I end up going to the senior center with Lana next week, it's going to be people asking me about cannabis.
Oh yeah. They say there was one study that had 67,000 older adults, and they had a history of cannabis use, and they performed better across all cognitive domains: attention, executive function, processing speed, visual, and working memory.
Well, we've had to learn to use the internet, so it must be doing something. Phones, all the technology that we've had to learn in the last 25 years,
Yeah.
like since the 80s. Like, come on, we had to do something.
Yeah, and on the cognitive decline, they said they were better results than non-users. So non-smokers of cannabis, their cognitive decline would be faster. Yes, yeah. Was that the study? There was a study that was done in Saskatchewan on the brain and it rebuilding your brain. So getting excited and stuff.
I believe that because I'm watching Haley, for example.
Yeah, there's a good one.
Was nonverbal, was like 85 fucking pounds if she was soaking wet. She was on the deterioration where Cheryl was like worried that she might not make it till the next day. Like basically there was like fear of like losing her. If you see her now, she's 33 years old and she's talking and out socializing and going out. And I mean, she still has to be careful, but because of the use of the juicing, it's just incredible. Like how much she's improved over like the last 15 years. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And they're using microgreens. So it's like a bean sprout, like not a bean sprout, but like like, sprouts you put on a sandwich, right?
So, yeah, it's microgreen. It's just the first set of leaves. All like
That's it.
two sets of leaves, if that. That's
Yeah.
it.
Because the amount that you have to use is like 10,000. You need 10,000. Like, it's the alkalinity in it, actually. It's not even, it's that too, but there's alkalinity. It's the alkalinity in it. It's because it's non-heated, right? It's the same with the juice. So there's no high to it at all, but it's helping Haley immensely. So Cheryl's got approved.
Health Canada is even interested in her getting results on this.
It's all about the licensing. It's about how to do licensing properly. And finding somebody to help her do it and be able to produce the 10,000 seeds a day she needs.
Oh, righty. See, it's top of the hour. Break time. Break time again. One of those things, pay the bills, whatever. Help us make our voices louder. Right?
Limestone, hydroponics.
We'll be back. In about 3 minutes. We'll continue our conversation. I've got a report on driving and cannabis that we can talk about as well. So, we're watching the Pace Radio Show. We're live here at paceradio.net, 420pace.ca.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net. Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420.
Are you looking to get your medical cannabis grow license? Limestone City Hydroponics can help patients through the process of obtaining their license to grow medical cannabis. What's that? You don't have a doctor. If you meet the medical criteria, Limestone City Hydroponics has a nurse practitioner who can assess and provide medical cannabis prescriptions. What are you waiting for? Contact Limestone City Hydroponics at limestonecityhydroponics.ca or call them at 613-548-0420.
What do you find at paceradio.net? People advocating cannabis education.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Rerolled Saturdays. Check it out. Nothing but non-stop cannabis and psychedelic programming. Find it at 420pace.ca. You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Hey, we're back. You're watching the Pace Radio Show. We got a study, and I got something here, Tamara, that I think that you would like to see going on here in Canada, because you're always saying, where's the money? Where's the tax money?
Right?
Exactly. Well, just so you know, in Michigan, they are sending nearly $100 million in cannabis tax money to local governments and tribes. They say that 300 local governments and tribes across the state, 313 municipalities, counties, and tribal areas. It's a total of 114 cities, 39 villages, 81 townships, 75 counties, and 4 tribes will receive payments.
That's excellent.
That's a lot of dough spread
That's
around.
I wish they
Now,
would do the same thing here.
yeah.
But I guess if if licensed producers aren't paying their portion of their taxes and the stores aren't paying their portion of the taxes, that means the government's not being able to collect on all this money. So that means they can't give back to something they don't have.
Mm-hmm. They say that each eligible municipality, county, and tribe will receive $54,000 for every licensed retail store or micro business within its jurisdiction.
Interesting. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's right in their law, too, on top of that.
I mean, in hindsight,
there's some money. There's other monies that go out too. To school aid fund for kindergartens to grade 12 education, as well as Michigan Transportation Fund for repairs and maintenance of roads and bridges. So it's good to see the money going to the schools as well.
Well, and infrastructure too, because that's a big thing. Like,
yeah,
especially in the States, that's one thing too. Like, even throughout our country, like
it's not going into slush fund for
infrastructure is not being repaired. Like our sewers and our water, like that's all things that aren't being repaired and upgraded as our populations all grow, right?
Wow, Michigan sold $10 billion in cannabis in 2024.
Wow, that's the same amount of money.
It's one state.
One state sells this, but like I was trying to explain to somebody today, like you have to look at the big picture. We're 30 million; they're 400 million. We are never going to be able to compete with the United States. It's like apples to oranges. It's like we'll never be able to buy as much as they buy because there's 30 million of us and 400 million of them. Like it's just numbers. Like you can't fudge that shit. It's math, even though I don't do math. But
okay, now this driving thing. They say, according to this report, it's researchers. It's new research, and this is a report in the Current Addictions. Came out in February of this year. And they say that THC in biological fluids is not a clear indicator of driving impairment. They analyzed, this is at Brown's University, they analyzed 16 controlled trials published between 2019 and 2024, examining for acute and residual effects of cannabis and driving performances. They found that inhaled cannabis with THC consistently impaired driving performance within the first hour of use. They found, okay. What else?
First hour use, depending on how you ingest, I would think.
Yeah. Well, they said inhaled, so it's smoking, right?
I don't believe that either, but okay.
Let's see.
I still think it depends on the individual, on all of it.
Yeah. They say researchers found poor correspondence between THC levels in the specimens and actual driving-related cognitive impairment. Like that earlier comment about they found that inhaled cannabis with THC consistently impaired driving performance over the first hour of use. Okay, what else here? The review showed that CBD did not impair driving performance at a dose typically used outside of clinical settings. That's under 300 milligrams. But it doesn't get you stoned. I wonder what does it relax you?
CBD?
Yeah.
Just nothing for me. Absolutely nothing. Like, most people don't smoke CBD. Cannabis, like mostly CBD is consumed in an edible form, usually in a tincture or something. I don't know many people that smoke a lot of like high CBD cannabis because it's kind of pointless because you don't get anything. There's no high from it. So why would you smoke?
They say there are no empirically supported thresholds for blood or oral fluids that reliably indicate cannabis impairment.
I believe that.
They say, based on the evidence, researchers recommend waiting at least 5 hours after smoking or vaporizing. But yet there's no way to prove impairment, though. Oh, and for oral cannabis products, such as edibles, they said to wait longer.
Well, sometimes people don't even get anything off an edible until like 2 or 3 hours
Yeah,
after.
exactly, Brent. Exactly, Brent. Yeah, driving laws don't care if you're impaired. You consumed, you are charged.
You
know,
never
like, I would say that probably a lot of patients are legally impaired when they get up in the morning, even though they haven't consumed. As we know, former host here on the network, Glenn, he was truck driver, and he hadn't consumed for 31 days, and they detected cannabis in his testing, in his results. So a month.
It's stored, well, it's stored in your fat cells too, right? It's not like,
yeah.
So
Yeah.
It depends on your weight. It depends on, and again, like it's stored in your fat cells. So it's like, how do you even like?
Yeah. Well,
how do you determine how long it takes?
He asks about how many prescription farmers are impaired, and he's talking pharmaceutical drugs, obviously. I know a guy that ran a business, a tow truck business at the time. He's no longer with us anymore, but he was taking 20 a day. Perks.
20 what? Perks.
Perks.
Yeah.
I don't know the strength of them, but yeah.
They're usually 5 or 10 milligrams per perks, because then you get into like the hydromorphines and this kind of thing. But
but if I because I use cannabis, the only time I was prescribed opiate medications was while I'm hospitalized.
Well, technically, you're supposed to report when you get your driver's license. Technically, you're supposed to tell them what pharmaceuticals that are impaired that you take. I don't know how many people actually do that.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't
on a regular basis, but
you're talking about renewals and stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah, like I mean, it's like your eyes.
I'm just saying,
an eye test, right? They want to make sure that you can see.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I think that cannabis always gets a bad rap. It's like the one time that they found that cannabis might have been related to a homicide or an accident causing death. They didn't mention the opioids the guy had already taken along with the cannabis, right? It was just the cannabis, but they didn't mention that he had taken 32 Percocets with the cannabis. Same with that woman. They're trying to, say she smoked cannabis and did a psilocybin the day before, and then ran over a child the next day, and they're trying to say it was the cannabis and the psilocybin because that's what she used as a defense to say that was the reason why she would have not been able, like why she was like not herself paying attention. It was totally an accident because she told the defense lawyer because she had done mushrooms and cannabis the day before. So it's people themselves that, say these things that then are brought into a court of law that then give the cannabis and the psilocybin a bad rap for something that they had nothing to do with.
Yeah. It's
my son just got his learner's license, and we were just asked at ICBC last week.
Oh, really? Eh?
If he was
he'd have a zero tolerance too, right?
Yeah, and like I said, so Taven just got his learner's license. He turned 16. We were asked at the ICBC when he got his learner's permit if he was prescribed any pharmaceuticals that would cause him any impairment, and they asked him if he wore glasses, which he does. He was wearing his contact lenses. And right on his learner's license, it says right on it, because he's not taking any pharmaceuticals, of course, that he has to have his contact lenses or his glasses on to be driving legally. But yeah, he was asked if he was on any pharmaceuticals that may impair his ability to drive.
Yeah.
And we had to sign a piece of paper that said, no, he wasn't. And I had to sign it as his guardian and his mother because he's under the age of 18.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah. Are you kidding me? That's a dog.
There you go. There you go, Bren. I just accepted. We're
up
now
here.
friends.
You're an idiot. Come on, hurry up. This dog.
Yeah. We're off.
Go, hurry up, get up there. Sitting at my feet crying. Like it's just
I'm gonna search you on Facebook, and it says confirm, and I thought, okay, you already sent in a request. I don't know when, but it was there. So I'll be talking to you. I'm gonna be sending you messages within the next day or two. So let's see what else. What else do we got here? We're talking CBD. So let's finish out the show with CBD. New study reveals how many Americans use CBD and why. And they say why. They say that from older adults are now taking gummies to help them with sleep, right? CBD oil is being used in massages. What else? They surveyed 1,500 adults, 18 and older. And what else they say here? Around 35% of respondents said they have used the CBD at some point in their lives. As far as why, let's see. I'm not seeing why. That's interesting. Why you wouldn't say that?
I know why.
Yeah. They say the survey asked about participants' the use of knowledge of CBD as well as CBD and CBG. And they said that they found that nearly 8% of Americans had tried THC, while 4.5%. They tried CB and 1.5 had HHC.
I've never quite understood that's like the whole carrot theory. Like you're gonna take that carrot and you're gonna rip it apart. You're just gonna eat the middle. I'm just like I've never been a fan of the distillants or the distillates or, like ripping it all apart. Like if it's not full spectrum, I'll pass. That's just my opinion only.
Yeah. Well, it's like if I buy a vape cart from the store, I will only buy the live rosin ones because I don't want just the distillates.
We don't want the botanical terpenes, right? Because the botanical terpenes.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, exactly.
And who knows what the
added? I've seen added botanical terpenes, but the one that bothers me more is the added flavor agents. The fuck is a flavor agent? And then what's it like to what happens when it burns? Right, when it's heated. Bryn, you're right. Yeah, CBD. It's made to make. It's very calming for people. Great on cramps. He says that lubes and sunscreens. Yeah, helps protect and encourage any healing. Now I know Canada at one point was talking about cannabis natural health products, and they were going to put them in pharmacies and other health food stores or health places. But now that's all been put on hold.
Because now there's legislation putting everything on hold, even for natural products. Because they want research to be done, because there's no research done on any of these vitamins or supplements or anything that they're selling in these natural food stores. And there's been repercussions and people have gotten sick. Because there's no they claim research is done, but there's nowhere that the research is done. You know what I'm saying? So Health Canada hasn't approved any of these supplements that they're putting out there. So it's pretty hard for them to, promote a cannabis-based supplement when they can't even say the supplements at the health food stores are safe,
how we always say, Health Canada doesn't recognize the medicinal benefit of the plant.
Of anything, to be fair. Like they don't even like they said that some of this health food stuff, they want to have control over the fact that it's not researched, it's not tested, and they don't have approval of it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask me.
Yeah. 10 minutes. We got plants, harvest, or not plants, but getting plants ready for outdoors. Getting anything ready? Got any seeds on the go?
I have seeds over here that my husband sent me to go look for something, and I found I can't find them, they're in there, a whole bag of PK seeds.
Purple Kush?
Yeah. So we're going to attempt to throw them in, and I'm going to, but again, like we've had such crazy weather, and I put a lettuce bowl in the kitchen, right? But of course you got to keep pushing it down because it's all like, reaching for the light. But nothing's really jumping too fast, and I don't want to put anything in too soon because I don't want it but spider mites.
Yeah. Bryn has a good comment here. He says that we have been roadblocked with many developments. I agree we need to ensure safety, but Health Canada will not permit the process and research to proceed.
Well, here's the thing, Bryn. They will, but you have to have a section 141. Okay. So it's a different section that you have to go through to get a fucking licensing for research and development. And it's a section 141, and it's not easy to get.
Yeah.
And research and money. And like I said, the shortfalling at the end of the day is you need money because they want the lab testing done, which means you have to either have your own lab or have have the ability to pay a lab. See, there's a lab at the University of British Columbia that will do all the fucking testing.
Well,
they have the money to do it.
Yeah, it's like Cheryl's working with the university.
She needs another $30,000 to pay. Never mind, she needs to find somebody with the facilities that are willing to do it. And the 10,000 seats is not a big room. 10,000 seats is one tray.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, at the end of the day, they would then end up with that licensing, the license producer, and it still would not give her the ability to be able.
So she needs a partner. Well, wouldn't some of these LPs that specify that they're just basically medical? Why wouldn't they?
They're not interested. They're not interested. They're not interested. She went, like I said, she's been lobbying for the last month. She needs to find somebody because she can't finish her research without anybody. Right. And nobody's willing to step up. Again, money too. Like they have to have, it's not even a facility thing. It's having the seeds. It's like I said, huge amount of seeds, right?
Right.
Like huge amounts of seeds. And I don't know.
It's not only the money, it's just all the supply and the requirements all around it on top of all that.
Right. Because again, you're needing 10,000 seeds a day because they only grow 14 days and then you're harvesting them, right? So every 14 days, you're having to replant, and her licensing would be for the 10,000 seeds. That's just for Haley. So again, you're looking at whatever and trying to find somebody that's got that seed because the plants don't produce and they can't use hemp. That's the thing. There's no, it's different.
And LPs don't produce seeds, cannabis seeds, unless they're doing it for their own purposes, I would think. Well, I gotta correct that. Because they sell seeds for Christ's sake.
They do, but they don't sell
in that quantity.
The quantity, right? So they'd actually have to be producing just plant or seed alone, right? So it's not lucrative enough for them to plant crops just for that amount of seed. Because you don't make enough money off the seed as you do the plant itself, right?
Is there
it's not lucrative enough.
Is there any strain or cultivar, or is it anything along that specific that she would need? Other than you say not hemp, but is there that this?
I'm not sure.
Are they finding any different?
I'm not sure about the specifics on. Because it's not ever it's never producing any more than 14 days past the second leaf, right?
Right.
It never gets into veg stage. It never gets any bigger than a sprout, right? So I'm not sure what strain, if it matters, because I'm not sure if it's a THC, it's the alkalinity. It's the fact that
Mhm.
it's non-heatable, and like I said, she's drinking a certain amount of juice, which is also helpful. But again, you're eating raw leaf for that, or bud, or whatever. But I guess leaf is almost better to juice, is what she's been telling
Yeah.
me. So for them anyway.
Microgreens.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's not. I would assume she gets to the second set of leaves because the first set are just the ones that basically come out of the seed
Right,
to get things going, and
right.
then
It's a second set. It's the time after the second set produce that they're finding the best with the testing that they've done. They're finding that's the best time to
yeah,
harvest that works best for medicinal purposes, right?
yeah, yeah.
For what she specifically has been researching for. Now, what the benefits would be if they left them longer or shorter or whatever, that's not been specifically being researched because they're trying to get something that specifically helps Haley, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
And I think that's why there's the whole thing on the how many days, and I'm not sure how they got to that exact. Like I said, she's been doing this for like years.
She's been there for a while, correct?
Carol can
And
tell you exactly how she got to that. I can't. I'm not her. Cheryl could tell you. I can't.
yeah. Now, Brenda says on here delays to the applications by overwhelming paperwork and regs that have to be worked on by an agency that the feds have partially unfunded. The money runs out before causing almost an impossible situation.
The
Well, I
medical
remember one
marijuana.
time it seemed like there was only, I think there was at one time it was like 2 employees in the.
I was going to say when it never changed. The lamination machine's been broken for fucking 25 years, dude. It's not like they all of a sudden came up with 5 new people. Oh, they did. Trudeau gave them 5 new people, and then when Carney came in, he cut them all off at the knees because of the fact that he is cutting the fat at the fucking federal level. So maybe he might have left.
Well, how can you have fat when you only got 5 employees to run a
Because
whole
cannabis was never supposed to be.
cannabis end of things?
That's a thing, though. Al. Like it was never meant to be an industry.
Yeah.
Legalization was meant for public health and safety. It was never meant to be all of a sudden, boom, we got fucking 500 licensed producers coming in that all need licensing this week. It was never meant to be that way, but apparently it went that way. So here we are.
There we are. It's
Yeah.
there. They got to deal with it. Yeah, it'd be nice if they, were, is that still more of that stigma and everything that's still all there?
It's never going to change because you've got
Um,
right-leaning fucking people in this country that think that what's freedom for them isn't freedom for everybody, right? And as long as it goes along with their narrative, then it's okay. But what we're doing as patients using cannabis as a medicine is not within their narrative. So, goddamn, we're not going to be able to do it. God help you. God help you. Hallelujah.
Yeah, when we do the news, like tomorrow morning, I'll do the news broadcast, and we get the odd comment thrown at us. Oh, a bunch of stoners out there giving people idiots or something like that, right? Just trolls.
All right.
Yeah, you're missing out on so much.
They want to keep their eyes closed, and that's okay with that. That's on them.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. I see it is the bottom of the hour. Time for us to head her home, get the day over with. Time for me to walk the dog.
And my lasagna's in the oven.
Your lasagna's in the oven. All right.
I'm a big fan of lasagna because
time for dinner for you.
Time
for dinner for you?
Well, it's 7:30 here. It's a bit later than dinner time, but like I said, Alvin's home and I had my show, so I got it pulled together before I put it in the oven, and it'll be ready when I'm done. So
yeah, there you go. We won't have to wait for it. It'll be ready.
No.
Okay. Other than that, anything else?
Good to see you too, Bren. You take care.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us.
Good to see you as well. And thanks for tuning into the broadcast. And we really like the interaction as well. So anytime. And like I said, I'll be in touch. All right. Other than that, it's time for us to say goodbye. It's time for me to thank our sponsors, and thanks to everybody for tuning into the broadcast. Thanks to Limestone City Hydroponics.ca, the Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, as well as At-Eze.ca. Plus, thanks to everybody for tuning in, as I said. And other than that, good night. Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Let's share PACE everywhere. That way it can help create peace. People everywhere advocating cannabis education. You're listening to the PACE Radio Network here at paceradio.net.